Hi guys, so I'm back with the fifth and final part of my diamond painting journey, I suppose. Obviously this kit was gifted to me by Craftology. It's their Hogwarts kit. It's 50 by 75 centimetres if you haven't been following, and I've been working on it for over a month, I guess. Yeah, I've done an average and it worked out as 108 hours work. So yeah, it wasn't a quick one. Yeah, but this was gifted to me in exchange for an honest review, and I will always be as honest as I possibly can. So I'm gonna talk through the kit a lot today and do like a roundup. It's not quite finished. I do need to seal it and frame it and everything, but I figured I'd do that as and when, because I don't want to rush to find a frame that I like. Sorry about the shadows as well, it's a grey day, so I've got to have the overhead light on. But yeah, so basically I don't want to rush to find a frame and to do the mount and everything for this. I want to take my time, find the perfect thing. As you can see, it is a stunning image and it really does look amazing. It is 60,000 diamonds total. Like I said, it's taken me 108 hours. It's been a journey, that's for sure. I've learnt some things to, take forward in the future, which has been quite handy, just like multi-placer tips and tricks and stuff like that. So Craftology currently use double-sided adhesive for their kits. I've watched quite a few YouTube videos and I must say that I don't like double-sided adhesive, because when I pulled the backing paper off to section the backing paper so I could like break it down into workable pieces, there was no air bubbles, but as I worked they were appearing. And when I mean air bubbles, it was like big long rivers every now and then. There wasn't loads, but I was having to cut them with my craft knife, like cut through the tape to get the air bubble out. And honestly, a few times I was so scared that I was going to cut through the canvas and like destroy my work. So that was really quite frustrating for me. So and that's not a bad mark for the kit or anything. That is just what this adhesive is like. So the canvas is a great quality, like feel in the back. I know fabric, and that is a good, nice quality canvas for this thing. But yeah, I don't like double-sided adhesive. It's stressful to do it, and from what I've seen, poured glue is definitely the way to go with it, because you don't get the air bubbles with that. And like I said, this is my first ever one, so I have no experience whatsoever. My friend's little girl got one that was poured glue, just like a small one off of Amazon or something. Sorry, it gets all hair in it, and when I see it I have to pick it. Yeah, anyway, back to what I was saying. So my friend's little girl got one from Amazon or something, and that was poured glue, and there was no air bubbles. And honestly, I haven't hated, like I said, I haven't hated this kit. I've loved doing it. It has got me hooked on the craft as a whole and everything. My only gripe with it, the only thing that I say I'm definitely not doing that again if I can help it, would be double-sided tape, because I found it to be really stressful, like I said, and I was honestly so worried every time I had to cut an air bubble, because you've got to put quite a lot of pressure in to not just scratch the surface and to cut through the tape, but then you've got to be light enough that you don't cut through the canvas. And I was so stressed out. Like, there's one up here somewhere, and no matter what I did, it wouldn't lay flat until I literally manhandled it. I just said to myself mentally, look, if you go through the canvas, you know what to do, it's fine. But I kind of feel like I shouldn't have to say that. and it's not a knock on the company or anything like that, because I love this kit and I love the company's. It literally, it is just a hazard of using this kind of adhesive, full stop. Not just this company, it could be any company that uses double-sided adhesive. That is an issue with it. So yeah, that's my gripe on double-sided adhesive. As you can see, I have jazzed up my diamond painting storage. So I'm going to show you now how many trash gems I've got. So this is like the little green boat. It's not showing up green in this light, but you know, that's kind of like how much trash was in there. To be honest, most of it is from one colour. It seemed to have, oh, it's just going everywhere now. One of the colours seemed to have a lot more imperfections than others. I'll tell you which colour that was in a minute, because I know every time I saw the letter on the symbols I kind of dreaded it, because it didn't seem to be every single bag had flaws. It would seem to be that it would be like in waves almost. So it would be, you'd get loads and loads and loads that are fine, and then you'd get ones that weren't. So it was symbol E, which is 791. It's like this bluey colour, and I just found that there was the odd maybe bag of them that had defects in them. But I have seriously loads of gems left over. They've given you more than enough to do it with, like, I don't know what the percentage is. I know some people have 10% extra, some people do 30, but I do think this is on the higher side, because like this bottle, for instance, is practically full. It is literally full to the cap, and I've still got a couple of bags of this sealed. So there's definitely more than enough to do it, which is a good point. It's like a good point. I did use the home Craftology tools, so I did use their little, they've got a little boat with a funnel on it, and I used that, but I did prefer the bigger one. Whoops, sorry. It was a lot better than these horrible green trays. I tried to use these a few times. I got these in my Amazon kit that I bought, and I tried to use these a few times, and I genuinely hate them. I don't know if it's that there's not enough room for them to move, but you know the one, it's the bright green tray. I find, you know, there's not enough room, like when you shake it or whatever, it just doesn't sit flat regardless of what you do. So that really, these annoy me, the little green trays annoy me. But the home Craftology, I think it's in here. I believe I put it all back together. I did. So the home Craftology kit comes with this little white boat with a funnel. So I thought that was going to be like the green tray, because they're like the same size pretty much, but this one's just tapered into a funnel. But it's actually not. This doesn't have that same annoyance that the green tray does. This, when you shake this, it actually does go, they go the right way up. But because it's such a big area, I stuck with my large white tray, because as you can see, there's like so much more space. Really, you can't really see that very well, but it comes to here, so there's a lot more space in the bigger tray that I got with my set that I bought on Amazon. But I do like the one that comes with home Craftology. I think it works, and if that's all you've got, you'll be fine. You know, you don't need to go out and buy another tray, is what I'm trying to say, or another pen either. That's great. So one thing that did irk me a little bit was on the bags. I'm going to show you some examples. So on the bags, when you first get the gems, I did mention this in my first video, I know, again, there's only so many manufacturers of drills in China. I don't know if this needs adjusting slightly. So as you can see, that is 317, yes. Now when you get onto a darker colour, make sure it's the right way up, and you can't see the number, it is there. Now if I move gems down, you can see that it says, oh, sorry, you can see that it says 939, but like I said, some of these bags are so packed you can't move the gems around. So I do think it'd be better if the DMC numbers were printed on the bags in, maybe if it had a white box around it and then black font, like black lettering, because for some of them I found hard to find, and like when my boyfriend was helping me fill the bottles up and that, when I was running low, he was like moving them around like, I don't know what colour that is, I can't read it. So yeah, it's not just me that was a bit irked by that. Also, like I mentioned in my unboxing video, the 4-digit numbers that I had, they seemed to sometimes get cut in half. So like the number would be down here on the bit where it was heat sealed, and then it'd be cut in half. And if you're only getting one bag, you might not be able to see what the number is supposed to be. Also, I am being really picky now. This inventory list, so I do really like it. It's nicely laid out and everything, but in some places with the symbols, the printing needs to be clearer. Like this is like a really dark one, and it's got a black R on it, which you can see it absolutely perfectly on the canvas, but the printing on this is a bit fuzzy. So I think it makes it difficult. Like for instance, you can see, you know, here, you know, it's quite fuzzy. So if you go over here, let me flip it over and I'll see if I can show you. So 550 there is, it's like a brown background with a black R on it, and that's quite hard to read, but on the actual canvas it's fine. So if you're going by the legend that's in the top corner, you'd be able to see that absolutely fine. It's just on this inventory checklist, it's a bit blurry. I mean, you can even see it on the instructions bit there. It's a bit blurry. But like I said, I'm just like being really nitpicky now. So yeah, I don't have any like major gripes with it. I enjoyed doing it. I will do more. I just don't like this double-sided adhesive at all. I'm going to email customer services at home, Craftology, because I'm not to complain or anything, but because I just want to clarify. I'm pretty sure I saw in the group on Facebook that they're moving to poured canvases soon, but poured glue canvases, but I just want to double check that. So I'll put a box below, like up here, if there's, you know, when I've got confirmation of that or whatever, so that you guys know. But yeah, like I said, I've absolutely loved doing this. I will definitely do more. I do want to do a poured glue one because a comparison would be good, like comparing my experiences with the two canvases. But yeah, like I said, I think it's an amazing craft, and I think this picture's beautiful. I mean, look at that sparkle. You're not going to get that of anything else. I will be back with another video on this, but it'll be slightly different because obviously my review of the kit is done now. My next video is going to be about sealing it. So I was in an iron about sealing it because I am planning to put it behind glass, but I'm just like frame it behind glass. I'm just not sure I trust the double-sided adhesive long term. Like, so I figured if, you know, if they're all sealed with a glaze, I'm only planning to brush it on very like lightly, so it doesn't like, I'm not so this area, so this texture is quite bumpy. I don't know if you can hear that, but obviously where the gems are square and they're faceted and they've got the like the ups and downs, you've got like dips and stuff. I'm not planning to make that flat and smooth. I'm just literally going to brush a very thin coat over them to like tie them together, because obviously you've got all these gaps in between them, which will then, so the glaze will be able to like adhere to the canvas as well, so it helps it in a multitude of ways. But yeah, I am gonna come back and do another video when I've sealed it and framed it and all that. So this isn't going to be like the last one. I'm hoping to get to do more of these in the future. But yeah, I've got a few people hooked on this hobby now. I'm not going to apologise for that because they're really enjoying it. But yeah, as you can see in that top corner, just above that turret, is all the sparkle where the light's catching it from the overhead light. And here, it's honestly something really special. But yeah, so thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these, just hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.